Yo, how's it going, guys? I just want to give my general thoughts about Pokemon Pocket as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I feel like right now I am absolutely addicted to this shit. I have literally what's nice is in the span of like a week, I've been able to or 2 weeks rather actually. I've been able to build 3 like competitive decks in the span of like 2 weeks, which is pretty crazy. I just grinded out the solo battles and I was able to get like 300 and something dust. I don't remember exactly, but I was able to like buy a bunch of packs pretty much. Free to play, by the way. I have not spent any money whatsoever on this game, and I was able to build. Right here, you see me playing Garatina. This is the Garatina Mewtwo version, which I think is slightly better than the Darkrai version. I was also able to build a Wugtrio EX deck, as well as what was the other deck that I was playing? The Meowscarada Beedrill, and all 3 of those decks are super fun to play. They're very very good. And I was really thinking about it. In 2 weeks, I was able to do this. When I started playing Master Duel, hell no, I was not able to build a deck until like at least 3 weeks to a month of playing, like consistently every day, until I was like able to build a competitive deck. And even then, I was playing Burning Abyss. I wouldn't even consider that meta. But and it's really interesting too, because I think the way Pokemon is played compared to Yu-Gi-Oh is the game feels very balanced, which is weird to say because obviously every card game is gonna have some type of broken cards. Like Garatina is probably like the most broken card. Well, Darkrai is pretty busted too. But they're kind of balanced in the sense that if your opponent knocks them out, they get 2 points. Whereas if you were playing like a non-EX deck, they only get 1 point. So you're kind of already at a disadvantage for choosing to play an EX Pokemon, which kind of balances out. But also, like Pokemon's quote unquote mana system, I wouldn't even call it a mana system, but it kind of functions like one where every turn you generate energy and you need a certain amount of energy to attack. And games feel very slow. Like I know some people say that like the Pokemon meta is really slow, but bro, trust. If you go and play Yu-Gi-Oh, games are over within like 1 to 2 turns. And anything that goes beyond 4 turns, like 3 to 4 turns, that's considered a grind game. So like in Pokemon, games are usually over by like turns anywhere from turns like 12 to 14, and to me that's like quite long. So it feels very balanced. And I will say this though, like Pokemon is very RNG. Like I have no idea what the real Pokemon TCG is like, but Pocket there is a lot of RNG. Like Wugtrio, for example, is completely random which targets that it hits, which can like be very frustrating at times. And I find that a lot of games come down to coin flips, which is like Misty is probably like the craziest one, or Team Rocket and Grunts, right? Very popular card right now, and a lot of games do end up coming down to a coin flip, which is can be frustrating, but at the same time, like I said, it's like 50-50. It's kind of in your favor, not in your favor. The RNG honestly doesn't bother me that much because virtually any card game you play, there is going to be some amount of variance and luck involved. So I feel like the RNG is not, it's not that bad. Or at least personally, I don't think so. And as somebody who also plays Hearthstone, which I forget what expansion it was, but when that game had like I think it was the dragons, the one with the Galakron. I don't remember the exact set, but or I think it was Dragon's Descent. I think that's the name of the expansion. Um, that expansion had a buttload of RNG, and like I absolutely hated it because the discover mechanic itself is already like pretty busted because your opponent can generate like potential outs to like cheat the game sometimes, or your opponent happens to generate the out and then you just lose, which can be incredibly frustrating. Or like the evolved shaman deck, I remember where they would just play they would like swarm the board, then they would play like some 9 mana card, which it gets discounted for every single minion on the board, so you drop it for 0, swing into something, and then evolve into a 10 mana. And it was just absolute ridiculousness. But you know that game's RNG compared to Pokemon is it's fair. It's fair. I don't think it's not unbalanced, and it feels really weird to go from like very unbalanced, broken games and coming to Pokemon. Um, it just feels like kind of nice. I don't know, and it feels like games are very like Pokemon has an insane amount of draw cards, which is very crazy to think about, right? I'm so used to Yu-Gi-Oh again, where you're just draw cards are like few and far between. Usually you're just getting like general plus ones, like, oh, search your deck for, uh, whatever archetype specific card that you need. Whereas in like Yu-Gi-Oh, you have like a million draw cards. But the game is also it kind of limits you because supporter cards, you can only play one per turn. So again, that's another way that the game is kind of balanced. Um, Whereas like in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, you could play as many spells as you want. Traps, on the other hand, you do need to set them and wait a turn, so they're very like slow in that sense. And then in Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously you're only allowed to normal summon one time, but literally that does not matter because you can special summon infinite amount of times in a turn. So like that's essentially how decks abuse, and they're able to swarm the board and create like these insane end boards, like because they're just spitting out like a million monsters per turn. In Pokemon, you can't do that, right? You can't even evolve on the first turn. You have to wait at least a turn before you evolve, and even then, like, I'm learning that playing a lot of evolved Pokemon in your deck is not good because it ends up clogging your hand. It makes your deck very inconsistent. So it's best to stick to like one evolution line at most, or like in some cases you play two, but it isn't very optimal. It's kind of better to just play one evolution line, or if you are going to play an evolution line, playing a one stage evolution line tends to be so much better. It's just very interesting, like because I'm so used to Yu-Gi-Oh. I keep kind of like reiterating that, but like it's so weird and bizarre, like going from that to Pokemon and just like how balanced it feels. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm having a ton of fun playing the game, even the whole like pack opening. Also, it's another interesting thing that like a lot of people that I talk to, they don't even play this game like competitively, or like they don't even play it at all. They just play it just for the sake of collecting, which is crazy to think about. Like I think Pokemon Pocket is probably like it has the potential to be like the best like mobile trading card game, I think, hands down. Cuz what is the competition? Like Master Duel and Hearthstone, I guess. I'm not sure what other card games there are. Oh, I guess Legends of Runeterra. I have no idea if that game's still around. But like I feel like Hearthstone's been declining in recent years, and I think Master Duel is still fine. I just think that Konami cannot do a good ban list like on their lives. I don't know what their deal is. They cannot make a good ban list. If someone put a gun to their head, they probably couldn't even freaking. It's like, oh, let's put the field spell to one and Chandra to one. Like that literally does nothing. Like I don't know what they're smoking when they decide to do the ban lists. Like I forget. Like Tenpai has been meta for so long, and they just put Impulse in the game too. So it's like, and then chances are they're probably gonna incorporate Rizio and I forget what the other top meta deck right now is. I think it's Malice. Once those decks come to the game, I already know like everyone's gonna be playing it, and Konami's probably gonna make them like all ultras, and it's gonna be like near impossible to build a deck for like any budget players. So it's like it's not very friendly to newer players, especially on ranked. They don't make it very accessible. Um, and they haven't really been doing a ton of events lately. I feel like that kind of holds them back too. I guess that's kind of a big complaint with me playing Pokemon. Well, I mean, I've only been playing the game for 2 weeks, so I guess that's not really fair. But I feel like they should do more events for Pokemon, because I know we have the sneak peek event going on right now, but it's kind of butt crack. I'm not gonna lie. You can literally only do, I think it's like one sneak peek per day or something, And like sneak peeking already alone by itself is quite hard. Like it's like a 1 in 5 chance, which is not, I don't know what the percentage is exactly, but it's not great. And having a sneak peek, like your odds are still like not good. So I feel like that's kind of like a missed opportunity there. Maybe if they made it like 3 sneak peeks per day, I feel like that would have been a lot better. Or if they allowed you to do it twice in one thing, I don't know. I feel like they could have massively improved that somehow. Um, yeah, I'm just having a ton of fun with the game, and I also forgot to mention, but the trade mechanic is so useful. Like I wish so many other card games would incorporate this, where you can trade useless copies of cards that you have. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh and Hearthstone 100% should include some type of trading mechanic, because I cannot count how many duplicates that you're gonna get in both those card games just from opening so many packs. And in Pokemon, you can at least use those extra copies to trade with other people, um, to get cards that you actually do need, or cards that you just want in your collection, or to help you complete your decks. That's how I was able to build all my decks like very quickly, because I needed a Sabrina or some type of extra card. And my friends that played Pokemon, like they didn't play it, they just collected. They would have like 5 copies of a card and they would just give it to me. They're like, yeah, just take it. I'm not going to use it. So I'm like, awesome. And I really wish that other card games would incorporate the trade mechanic. I feel like that thing is so good. Like, and I know they just included it with like a recent update. I don't know if it was the last update or the update before, but that is a godsend. I ain't even gonna lie. Hearthstone and Master Duel, they need to get on that, to be honest. Also, if you guys watch till the end, if you're still watching this, please like and subscribe. What are you doing? If you're watching till the end, hope you all have a wonderful day.